What are you doing in my house? I'm just fucking with you. Welcome to Yzer TV. What just happened? Esme Wild from the Rebel News UK team shut down Acorn in what many may call an immature move, but to me was probably one of the funniest moves I've ever seen in journalism. A little bit of background. Esme Wild and Jay Turner, Rebel News UK on Twitter and Facebook and many other. They're a news outlet in Bristol and they are an amazing team. Amazing, nothing bad to say about them, nothing. First, there's Jay. Jay is the camera guy. He likes to just kind of film things. He's also a Blairite from what he told me recently. Number 2, Esme, I am louder than anybody else on the planet. Wild. In my opinion, best on-camera reporter I've seen in years. I mean, what she just done then, when she shut down the Acorn, whoa. In fact, I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna play the clip now.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Annie from Acorn. I'm Esme Wild from Rebel News UK, and I disagree with everything this woman says. Thank you very much.
Oh, sweet chin music! What in the world? I told you, King! I told you!
Holy shit, I was not expecting that, but fair play to her. Let's go for a little bit why she disagrees with her. Let's watch the rest of the clip. Yeah?
Now, what just happened here? This woman has beliefs. Who am I to disagree with anything she said, let alone everything? I'll tell you. Annie from Acorn has no idea what she actually thinks or believes, and I am about to prove it to you. Annie says she believes what's best for the majority of people is what's best.
I actually believe that what's best for the majority of people is what's best.
However, Easton has a population of over 13,500 people, and she is citing that 400 residents lodged objections. In fact, 400 residents is around 3% of that population. Even the petition that was signed by 3,000 people, which is a lot of people, is still only 22% of the Eastern population. And depending on if it was a city-wide campaign, with a city population of 428,000, that percentage falls into minutiae at 0.7%.
I need to weigh in just slightly, just because I'm wondering at this point how many people actually knew that they could they could object to the plans or whatever. I mean, 400, that's quite significant. You think that word would spread, but yeah, man, maybe not a lot of people knew about it. So yeah, that's the different argument altogether. But I just thought I needed to point out.
In this respect, we can see that she is not acting in accordance with her self-professed beliefs, and is in fact acting in the interest of the very few. When confronted with the idea of individual property rights, she was dismissive, even going so far as to say she finds it very difficult to feel sympathy towards private landlords.
So I find it very difficult to feel sympathy towards private landlords.
This is particularly baffling, as with a cooperative of private landlords and the right investors, the chocolate factory could be developed by members of the community.
So this all sounds great. So what's the actual beef? What is Acorn's problem this time?
The proposal includes no affordable or social housing, and we feel that it will therefore do nothing to help the community. When we've got such a massive homelessness problem in the city and so many people waiting for council housing, it seems ridiculous that developments of this size should go ahead and do nothing to help ease that problem.
Fantastic, fantastic, okay.
I'd say I'm sick to death of Acorn, literally, from their stupid t-shirts that they're trying to outbrand themselves, which they're just and their ego-driven social media protests. Oh my god, Acorn frustrate me. They are not a proper organisation. They're masquerading as a non-profit, and where do the t-shirts come from then? Is that everyone's membership fees? Yeah, that's profit then. If you can afford to spend that on t-shirt, that is making profit, therefore you spent the money and not giving it towards the homeless or the charity or whatever it is you're trying to come up with. Acorn are fucking idiots.
Now, Acorn states that developers are, as you say, failing to meet the quota of 40% affordable housing allocation. However, Bristol City Council have said that Generator Southwest is under no obligation to provide that housing. What makes you feel as though the council has the duty to enforce such a restriction on 40% of what is actually private property?
There's several reasons for it. The council are our local government and have been elected to represent the people, and we've had petitions where over 3,000 people have signed it. Over 400 objections in the local area were put in about this site, and I think that the council should be trying to make sure that the needs and wants of local people are met. But also our new mayor Marvin Rees got in on a platform of promising to build social and affordable housing.
And there's that name again, Marvin Rees. Marvin Rees. Marvin, I have had more meetings recently than the fucking president. Rees. Marvin is from the ghetto, but Martin doesn't care about the ghetto.
The actually marginalised areas of Bristol that are screaming out for new residents. Areas such as Withywood, Southmead, Henbury, Lockleys. These are areas that need special attention and increased home ownership. Resenting the price of a considerable rise in the standard of living in Easton is petty and pointless. Either you have increased social housing, but decreased property value and investment in an area, or you have increased property value and investment and private housing. You can't have both. It's not economically viable, and just because you take objection to the way economics work does not make it an irrelevant factor. Thanks to Acorn's short-sighted but effective efforts, the chocolate factory development was deferred at the council meeting today, which really is a testament to how easy it is to manipulate your local government into acting as your cause's personal enforcer if you whinge loudly enough and for long enough. And we applaud the council's tremendous lack of backbone in submitting to a measure that only 0.7% of the city signed a petition for. I look forward to seeing this building stand empty and unusable until the developers can reapply for planning permission, all the while falling into more expensive levels of disrepair to fix, and with more original features of the building becoming unsalvageable. I'm sure it's very helpful to the people of Easton as they miss out on the £1 million contribution to the community infrastructure levy that Generator Southwest promised in their press statement about the property development. I'm sure the residents of Easton weren't looking forward to using the business starter units, open space and dedicated community facility that Generator Southwest incorporated into their plans at the request of local residents. I wonder if Acorn has any ideas on how to provide infrastructure improvements and community facilities to an area with an exploding population and no extra stimulation to the local economy.
Proud of yourself now. Do you understand what you'd actually done? Yeah. I take it you didn't actually do any of the research before you went off on your protest. Pretty much like every other protest in Bristol I happen to have been a part of. You know what I mean? When I actually started looking into these protests, I realised how much bullshit the Bristol's People Assembly and Acorn and all these other stupid little organisations that keep popping up. It's all for social media. It's all for fucking bragging rights. It's all for, oh, look what we did. Look, we're shit. You make me sick. You make me fucking sick. Piss off. I'm done. This episode's done. I'm angry now. Fuck it. I'm done.